So my name is Vendula Doubravská. I am working for Zlin Creative Cluster also, like Nicola before, but my part of job is to care about Hub 123. It's a co-working space or center, but not in the big city in Zlin, how we heard before, but now we are on the small city, what is quite different field. First, I want to say something also about me. I took this job because I liked that I could combine two of my focuses in, because I was studied art school, but then I was studying astrophysicist. So I'm straddled between art and technology, and I believe that I understand a little bit of both. So what I want is to connect people from both of this field, the creative people and the people from technologies business. It's something what I think is very important in this age is that these two parts needs to cooperate it. So Hub 123 is a co-working space mainly for the creative people, but it's also open space for everybody in our region who needs support their businesses. My goal is to provide a space where creative people can find support for them, exchange ideas, and network with the people. For me, maybe the best idea is meet the people from the technology fields. In our region, we used to have the problem of brain drain, what is probably problem of most of region, not only in the Czech Republic, but in whole world, because everybody wants to go to more attractive cities like Prague or Vienna. So we want to establish an infrastructure to make this region more interesting for local creative people. So something about our city. Uherské Hradiště has around 25,000 inhabitants. We are on the southeast of the Czech Republic. In presentation before, you see we are like 1 hour from Zlín, but we are also quite close to the second biggest city, Brno, and also quite close to the Vienna or the Bratislava. I think it's the reason why so many people from abroad live here, because we have 3 airports around, but you can still live in the small family city. We have quite strong cultural basic. We have recommended art school here, so there are many creative people, and this is the reason why we want to keep these people here, or at least we want them to come back. We have also quite strong local community. The city is a little bit different because there is quite strong folklore. I will be talking about it more in second slide. Yes. So on these photos, you can see 2 photos from 2 biggest festivals in our city. We already see that in Zlin, there are also happening quite big action, and we also have some big actions like that. From is Summer Film School Festival, but it's actually probably the second biggest film festival in the Czech Republic. And on the second picture, it's wine festivals. When I was saying that we have 25,000 people, on wine festival came like 30,000 people. So we have twice more people here. So the city is very active. So something a little bit about history why we are doing this project. I will be talking now not just from the side of the creative cluster, but also a little bit from the side of city or the people who is living here. It's odd start from my view when my colleague Suzanne moved from Prague to Uherské Hradiště, and she found that wasn't so much support for the business in the rural area of Uherské Hradiště and surroundings. Also, 3 years ago, the city of Uherské Hradiště was developing strategy. You already heard about it from Nicola, the CCI strategy. And Suzanne was already involved in the politics of the city, and they decide to cooperate it and find somebody who will help them do something from this strategy, not only because now the many regions in the Czech Republic have this CCI strategy, but they are still doing nothing. They just have these papers, it's nice, but they don't know how to start. But because of Zuzana, we decide just start somehow. So Uherské Hradiště decide to cooperate with Zlin Creative Cluster and make this co-working center Hub 123. What you can see on the picture is one of the results of the CCI strategy. It's saying that if the blue part is the money from the city, if city will provide us some money, not only for the Hub 123, but for many CCI things, in 3 years, the money will go back to the city because there will be more businesses, more people will staying here, which means more money for the city. So, our cooperation. I think first what is important to say that Hub 123, it's not the typical fancy hipster co-working center based on some great business plan, but it's good to look at it more like the service from the city for the people. If you see it from the city point of view, having place like that to support local people, it's a great way how to invest money because it will get back to you how you see on the last slide. So the city needs to find some young and creative people with the necessary knowledge to run the place like that, people who are open-minded, willing to try new things, being excited and about innovation. And also it's very important these people needs to be still local because if we just find some businessman from the Prague and he will run place like that in Uherské Hradiště, I think the people will be not accept that well because they are very close to each other, they know each other, and they are not so open to new things from biggest cities. They are always look at it quite badly. So it's very important to find somebody local who will help with projects like that. So I'm a little bit lost in it. So it's important to value local intelligent and innovative people if you want to start project like this. And at the same time, it's also good that you can rely on some institution who provides you their knowledge. So for the city, for us, it was the cooperation with the Creative Cluster or the Zlin University of Tomáš Baťa. So the city of Uherské Hradiště decided to work with us and they support us with low rent for our building. They are also paying half position for Zuzanne. And for exchange, we promise them that we will support local culture and creative industries. On the photo, you can see the president of the creative cluster, me, then the mayor of the city, my colleague Suzanne, and another part of the creative cluster, Dušan Svíčka, after signing the memorandum of cooperation. It's Petr was talking before that in the Zlin it's actually this cooperation with city working quite well. So it's quite big part for us that we was able to do that here in Uherské Hradiště. That city wants to help us with that city knows that it's something important for them also. That is not some project of the creative people, but it's very important for the city to keep these people here. So how we started? We start almost with nothing. You can see totally empty code space. But we decide that our K for build space is community. In order to establish a place like Hub 123, where people come together to exchange creative ideas, we invite local people to participate and help us to build it. So again, we didn't find some people from another big cities. We decided to cooperate with people who are living here to ask them what they want to this place look like, what they need here. Our main goal was to establish cooperation. For example, University of Tomáš Bati lent us the tables and wardrobe. You can see us building everything with our hands. It's look maybe cheap, but it's about if, how I said before, if somebody do that, not us, the people will not look at it great because it will be just some business model. But we want to show the people that we are doing it for them. There's another part of working. We was making wall. I hope it's moving. Yes, is it? And we actually invite people from the city to help us with this because we know they will then feel like the part of us. They will feel like this project is for them. They already help us with it, so we will be close to them. We are planning to continue and expand our cooperation in order to make Hub 123 a place from the people to people. And as I said many times, and I will probably say it a lot of times more, the community is the key. We already have been having many contacts in the region to people who would gladly support our projects, but we need more and more this context. This is a reason why you need to find somebody very local to help with it, how I said, if you want to run a project like this. Somebody who is already connected with the local community. Actually, in this case, it's me. I am living here more than 10 years. I was doing many activities here, many events. I think I have connected to many institutions. I'm also connected to the community. So it was more easy for us to start because I already have these contacts. So if you want to do something like that, try to find somebody from the city who will do that or at least help you with it. Now there are some photos from our opening party because it was quite nice actions. I think it's worked very well because normally when you open something new, there is not so many people caring about it yet. But a lot of people came on this party and it was very successful. And I think people came back just because we make it great. So the community building, it's probably the hardest part, but the most important one. We actually, first month, when we was sitting, I will go back in this totally full space. We just was inviting people and talk with them. You can see on the low picture. And we asked them what they want. We just talk with them. It was full months of just talking. I was in some part a little bit annoyed about it because I think we need to do something, not just the talking, but it was very important because these people will came back. Because if we didn't talk with them, they will be not go back to us, and we were sitting still in the totally empty space. So when we are open 3 months back, we start to organize not only the actions for support businesses, but mainly for support community. It's actions like language cafe, swap of the clothes, board game clubs. For view of some people, it can look like we are just playing games here, but it's true that on this type of action already starts our first networking connections. People from technologies fields find their programmators and other connections like that. We have first co-workers here from the board game club and like that. Another very successful thing is our business breakfast. It's very popular things around the world, but we a little bit adapted to our needs. So we are inventing there people from this region with the strong life story, which ends with the successful businesses. It's very popular now. We make this even twice per month. It's open for everybody from the city. It's not just for the co-workers or some people who are working with us in the hub. It's just for everybody who wants to come. Of course, we don't have infinity chairs, but it's still working well. Uh, we also make some art exhibition, also the classic networking parties, but also, for example, screening films with the film directors and many other actions. So it's like the part what we are doing now, just making a lot of actions to show the people we are here, we are for them. We start, I will show you another slide. We are still finding what the people want. We are still talking with them. So we sometimes make action but it's not so attractive. So we just didn't continue in it. And we are continuing with the action that are quite successful and we are still adapted for the people. We also already have first startup here. It's with the 3D print. We are already close work together with the local art school. And we are looking still for more coworkers because now cowork is still something new for the people in the city. They are not use it so much, but I think it's something that needs quite a lot of time. And we need to wait a little bit for it. But it's quite clear now that people really need a place like that for meeting and connect. We will see how it's work like the cover, because after Corona, people are they are working from home. They know how that it's quite comfortable for them. So we need to take them from the homes back to the co-working centers, and we hope we will not have another struggling with Corona this year. So I was quite fast, like really fast. It's probably because I'm from the region when we talk very fast. But I will be glad if we can more talk each other with the questions, because this is totally different projects. It's not something that is running for many years. It's something that is very new. So I will be glad if you can give me some question what you are interested about it on this project. Is it okay? Did you hear me? Yeah.
About questions, when you described your experience of creating the hub, it reminds me that currently we are situated in the hub that was created by university in cooperation with local businesses, and the main idea was also to create a co-working space for people who work in creative industries. But the format was a little bit different, because it was like a public space for local businesses to organize events and to create projects for local community, let's say this. In 2017 was, as my colleagues mentioned, the first hackathon of creative entrepreneurship made in this place, in this creative hub. So could you tell me about your experience? How if whether when you started, when you initiated this process of creating this hub, could you describe the let's say the preparedness of city government or city council to help you, whether they understood your idea to create this hub, or it was their idea to make this hub?
We was lucky because maybe you remember, I was talking about my colleague Suzanne. She is also in the government in the city, and she wants to make this project to be alive. So because of her, it was quite easy to communicate it with city, because she was talking about it quite a long time with them. She was really pushing on them that we need something like this in the city. So our road was already open for us when we came with it. And I think we now have quite nice government here. It's very easy to communicate with them. They already support us, but maybe it's just the luck. Maybe in another after another election will be maybe a little bit different, and we will have some struggling with it. but for now it's quite easy. Of course, there was skeptics. There are always people who are really skeptics. For example, the first month when we was here, many people came here and was like, what you are doing here? Why you are doing that? And there was very skeptic and not open it, but we was just talking with them quite long time. They was sitting here for 2 and 3 hours, and they go from here with smiles and start to came back to us. I think this is only thing what you need to start with. What do you need to start on? You just need to talk with the people and sharing the ideas, and you need to just repeat it and repeat it all the time and be strong in it, because they start to understand it, but they need time. It's now looks like it's quite short time project, but Zuzanne was talking about it for 10 years. And the strategy of CCI is also 3 years back, or 2 years back when it was finished. But still, we are quite fast than other cities. And I think it's just because Zuzanne is in the government and she wants to do that. So it's also quite important to have some people in politics to move with it. Is it the answer?
Yeah, of course. Any answer will be useful because it's your experience, and we can't copy it. We can just listen to it, make our conclusions, and continue to work in our space. So if we're talking about, so you are a part of Zlin Creative Cluster, yes?
Yes.
So could you tell me is this hub 123 is the place for creating new creative businesses in Uherské Hradiště or something like that, or it's just a community place for people to talk or play or present their activities?
We want to be a place for the creative businesses. It already is, like with the startup, with the 3D print we have this cooperation with the art school, but what we are now focusing on is the community, because we need the city likes us, the people knows about us. So we want to have nice art business place, but we need to start with the community. So it's just our works now. Maybe if I will be talking with you next year, I will be talking about totally something different, because I will be in another part of running this project. But now we are in this stage of making community. So it's look a little bit weird, but we decided this is the way how to do that, because it's small city. So we really need the city like us. So this is the way how we are working with them.
So okay. So it is also a nice experience, because we also have, let's say, the scale is a little bit different, because Uherské Hradiště is in Ukrainian scale is not so big, and it could be compared to, let's say, we have a project of it is called administrative reform, and we have the problem or challenge for our communities in the region that they need some places or hubs or clubs to organize events, to bring people together, to present them new ideas, to help them to create new businesses, especially for young people, to avoid this, this brain drain from the region. So this is the main challenge for them, and your experience as well. But it is a nice example when city council, community, and some people outside from Zlin, for example, they are ready to help, and they are ready to understand from the other side that it is useful, for example. I think that it is very nice example case for us to learn more about. So any questions? Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is a very nice example that it happened great, because the city wants to cooperate it. We find Zlin Creative Cluster, what is also very important for us. Maybe I'm working for the Zlin Creative Cluster, but I am also the part of the community in Uherské Hradiště. So we find these three parts that are really great together. but it's very hard to find something like that. But I think it's something what is great to focus on. Have somebody in the politics, in the government, have some nice, good working institution like the cluster, and still have some local people who are living there and know what the people want.
Cool. I wish you good luck with your project, and I hope just to hear about your activities in the future. Do you have questions?
Peter, I have some question about. I have question to Peter. Peter, I have very important question for me. It's about very famous place in Zlin. It's place, very important for us, for me and Anton. It's about beer bar, Shopa. Is it working?
Yeah, they have survived the survived the COVID. So next time you come to Zlin, we can visit this place and taste the beer there. So
Thank you. Nice.
I think that this is the good news for you. And then, if I can add something to Vendula presentation and her answers to the question of the community. By the coincidence, I'm a part of another international project that aims at the co-working centers in periphery areas. And the leading partner of this project is from Milan in Italy. And if you think about Milan in Italy, it's not that small village as Uherské Hradiště or Zlin. It has almost 2 million inhabitants there. But still, those co-working centers can be found as a peripheral co-working centers if they are in some part of the city. And always the community there is that thing that makes them work. If you are in the total lost situation when you don't know anybody, this type of facility wouldn't work. I've seen so many co-working places in Prague that you can walk in, sit there, work on your computer or on your laptop and go out without any connection with the people. But this is not the way we want to do it. Once you work in the co-working center, you want to be inspired. Well, what brings you to come to work to the office with the other people? Well, the connection with the other people, not just that there is a table and Wi-Fi. You have it at home. So the first thing is to create a community, and you can get inspired. As was the case of the guys from the first generation. They worked in the same place, okay, but they found out that this thing that they are close to each other and can learn from each other, from the photographer, from the fashion designer, from the architect, and they cooperate on their own projects in the business. In the business thing, they don't cooperate just because they are friends. Of course, they go for the beer to the Shopa, but the thing is that these connections help them in their businesses, and that will work as the same situation in the Uherské Hradiště. We believe in it, so now we are working on the community. All the things that are happening there are not for free. You are not just coming in without paying any fees. Why? Because if you want to develop your business, you need to learn that it costs something, and those costs are symbolic. It's not a huge amount of money. You pay for the ticket to the cinema, so you pay maybe the same amount of money when you come for the lecture to the hub 1 to 3. So that is reasonable price. It helps us to finance the project a little bit. We are still in loss, but it also teaches them that if they want to invest, it's not just the time; it's money as well. And then, this is the way we want to develop this new entrepreneurs in the small city. So and we believe that it will work, and I hope that we can continue in this discussion next year, maybe in Zlin or in Rivne, and we will compare our thoughts and our discussion with the results.